Good morning, everyone. Happy VD to everyone watching this. I'm hoping you're having an amazing Valentine's Day or whatever you Valentine's, whatever it is that you're checking out. One of my favorite Valentine's Day songs is um, by one of the greatest musicians and artists and Dirty Macs to ever live, Bobby Womack. We told the girl, if you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight. All of that needing a $500 first date and not getting not letting that young man flourish in your DMs and all of that other stuff and standards. Look at you. Look at you. That girl your girlfriend who answered that DM, she about to jump that broom. She's flourishing. You over here watching this, which is nothing wrong with it. I appreciate you. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me on this glorious VD day. Hopefully, again, everybody gets everything that they want, everything except for the other version of what VD means. This is Big Games BS, part of DIN Media Group, presented by Goodfellas Jacksonville. We're having a Goodfellas celebration in Jacks. So if you need to celebrate VD with somebody, go there. There'll be plenty of people there, plenty of old heads that's willing to trick off and give you a little sugar. As long as you got a little honey for the little honey for their stinger, they're willing to give you a little sugar. But yeah. So on that note, lots of stuff has been going on in the world. A lot of things that we didn't get a chance to catch up on Monday's show. But before that, realize VD comes in our month. This is Colored People Appreciation Month. And if you're a member, you're colored too. So everybody gets a chance to appreciate that. So we got Miles. Go ahead and let them know what the chat is going to be like for the rest of this month. This is what we want it to be. So if you're whites, this is not a whites only chat anymore. So you got to make sure it's colored. Make sure you're colored. Oh, can't do that one, right? Yeah, I must say they be jamming us. The Nation of Domination be jamming us, man. They want all their bread. Shout out to Steven for being colored. Londa.
What you had up there?
We don't have the one with just the dudes throwing the sign. Adrian, VD is horrible. You do not. I don't understand the holiday. The holiday is made up holiday.
Bottom, is that what you mean?
Nah, it should the first link. Oh, I text messaged you you got the text. Did you send yourself the email with the text message?
Yeah, that was the first one. Was the Nation of Domination?
The first one should be in ENGXGE _.
Oh, unless it's this. What you're talking. That's the first one I got.
Huh? I'm looking at the text I sent you. Well, don't worry about it. Whatever.
Transfer.
Yeah. Anyway, no matter, no biggie. Bottom line is colors only. We're not going to use the Nation of Domination so they don't destroy my monetization. But big props to everybody who's continuing to do that. We're hovering between we're on pace to get to the 500 500 members by the end of the year. We're well over 5,000 subs. It says we're 645 away from 6,000. We're probably a little closer than that. Actually, we're about 635 away from 6,000. So make sure you go tell a friend to sub. I'm sure the different times and different stuff, and I know the algorithm was wilding out, so the numbers are a little lower than what they were. Also, it's not being football season, so but please push the like button, continue to grow the channel, different things of that nature, so that we can continue to push it.
That
And
account was suspended.
you said what?
That account was suspended from the link.
Ah, that would explain it. That's tough. Black History guy getting suspended during Black History Month. That's terrible. That's tough. Moving forward though, again, today is a great day for my fellas and for my ladies. If you one of our sponsors should have been the first people that you went to. If you did not go there a few months ago, there's still time. We got a special new person that's back endorser. Not so Andy Reid. Basically, we have nothing else to give. Give that person healthy life, vitality, and you can just give them this.
How about that D, baby? How about that D, baby?
Sometimes that's all you can present to her is that D. And make sure you're going to alphamilljacks.com so you can make sure you present her the best D possible. Ladies, you don't know what to get that man. He's been slacking. It hasn't been good. It hasn't been doing the right thing. It hasn't been penetrating. It hasn't been giving you it hasn't been filling the gaps that you needed to fill. Well, but you love him. So you need to go to alphamilljacks.com, type that website in, go to the free consultation. Encourage that man to go get some blood work. Encourage that man to go get his hormone levels checked. Lot of high E, low testosterone in this world. A lot of men don't know what's going on with them, and it's unfortunate. We need to make sure we're getting these people the proper treatments and the proper looks in life, so that we're not acting I would say bitch made. We don't want any more bitch made men out there. That's basically our announcement. So basically, we have made sure the bills are paid. One of the craziest things, and maybe you guys can help me with this. I personally think it stinks against you. That's why you gotta keep receipts. But like, if you've made it this far, if you've made it to the week of VD, you should not fuck up your happiness. Like, go ahead and carry it through, see it through. Or don't be an asshole, because some people can go and have a good VD or just like a birthday. Like, don't break up with somebody the week of their birthday or their birthday. There's a guy that did that to a loved one of mine, and I'll never forgive that guy. I'll never like that guy. I have no problem with the guy breaking up with the person, but I have a problem with the guy breaking up with them on their fucking birthday. Like, they could have found somebody better to celebrate their birthday with. But you had to be a greedy bitch, and you didn't have the balls to do it. And motherfucking text message, which I'll never like that. But you holidays. When is a good time? What's a good amount of time to like? Hey, I know this is coming to an end. I got to get out of this. Like, what is that? Is it a week? 2 weeks? Well, I bring this up because a major breakup just happened in the sporting world that I think a lot of people are happy about. A lot of people were unsure about the relationship in general. Is it weird because this lady potentially saw this young man go through puberty as they were growing up? But Larsa Pippen and little Mike Jordan have now broken up. They broke off their engagement. It's not happening anymore. Michael Jordan happy, Scottie Pippen happy. I don't know what this young man was doing, dog. You're not supposed to marry them. You're supposed to have fun with this. Ladies, my older ladies, here's some free game by Big Game. The world has lied to you. The world has told you in this new open sexual revelation and all this other shit that you could go be free and promiscuous. And everybody, you can go date down. But those young men eventually are going to want something that you probably can't provide for them. And that's true. So he's probably was doing all the things that you're supposed to do to try to keep the woman happy. Oh, we'll get married, we'll do this. But ma'am, you are on TV saying you need to have sex 3 times a day. You like to get your back broke. You like all this other shit. A lot of lies. Because a lot of y'all lie for no reason. Just like men lie on the dick size, a lot of women lie about their sexual prowess for absolutely no fucking reason. And this is how you get into the situation. He probably realized that the pussy was back. So now he had to break up with her. And you know, and I guess it's kind of sad for the basketball world. But what's funny is Cameron and Mace, who probably have one of the best podcasts if you just need some bullshit to listen to. Miles, if you click on that and then go up, like you'll be able to hear what those guys had to say. My guy said, Mace said, bitch, you are not Lori Harvey. And I think I am in stitches on that. If you go to the next link, Miles, under that. I mean on the thing. But Cougars are it is not as bad if you understand what your role is in this. You could be a coach. Like if Larsa Pippen was really like scroll up, if Larsa Pippen was like, how far did you go? Yeah, right there. Go ahead, play that for us real quick. These boys, wow.
They both unfollowed each other and wiped pictures of each other off of their social medias. And then Larsa posted a little quote on her story. She said, "The man you choose to be, your partner, affects everything in your life, your mental health, your peace of mind, your love inside you, your happiness, how you get through."
Why do hoes become philosophers
we raise and much
when they get breakups?
Choose wisely.
What? What? How dare she have any rebuttal for taking a man 16 years younger than you and act like he's the problem? You're the adult. What are you talking about? I'm definitely not the one should be talking about this because I'm super insensitive on this topic. Just thinking about this, I don't even need my notes for it. How you ain't you Scotty's ex-wife? Now you mad with the Pippins and the Jordans?
Right.
You got no future in Chicago. I hope you know that. You mad with Batman and Robin, and now baby Batman? What's going on, Larsa? Oh my goodness. This is embarrassing. This is really embarrassing. And allegedly is this kind of behavior that could make it troublesome even for your son playing basketball. So you heard a lot of things with your behavior. We don't know what Scotty did. We're not letting Scotty off the hook. You got Scotty walking around here looking like the future with dreads and black Nike Airs. I don't know what's in your box, but listen, we're praying for the Pippins. We're praying for the Jordans. Cam, you say something about this because I take him off the gram. How dare you erase his pictures? That's the only reason we're talking about this. And I know Jordan is somewhere right. Yeah.
Out of town.
Tried to told you.
That's all you can do with the son.
It's crazy.
What was she thinking? What was you thinking anyway, dating him? Your kids grew up with this boy. Your kids grew up with this boy. Somebody got to tell people the truth. You were already in violation, talking about affecting your mental health. You were taking, my opinion is you were taking advantage of this. You were taking advantage of him. You already took Scotty's pension. I'm gonna go for I say more because I really don't like this situation.
Hey,
and they're gonna delete all his pictures like he's the problem.
Pause it real quick, because they're gonna go in and talk about he's not Lori Harvey. But it's like you got to think about all of the things of how. Again, I don't know what happened in her and Scotty's relationship, and I'm not here to talk about that part. One thing doesn't excuse the other. But like you literally over here taking money from one rich dude to go be with a younger boy. At least at least when they say older men go and trick on younger women, it's typically with their money. It's not the money that they took from their rich wife. It's like it's messed up behind so many other different things. But like at the end of the day, you don't get to say I have to focus on my mental health when you literally just robbed the cradle. Like you there's no sympathy. And why are we erasing? Like, you can't go back and erase all the articles, all the interviews, all the things that you've done with this relationship. Just because you erased it off the gram doesn't mean the relationship doesn't exist anymore. You know what? This is why you don't put your relationship on the goddamn gram. Stop putting people in your business. If you stop putting people in your business, you wouldn't have to do these other different things. But what you did was you did this for attention. You did this. It's kind of like what's the hoe that Kanye, the white hoe that Kanye was with before the last hoe, Kardashian, Amber Rose. Amber Rose saying that how her 9-year-old son defends against his friends seeing her on OnlyFans. It's the woman's body. It's her. Like, nah, man, you just raised a boy to get his ass whooped and be like, your son's gonna have low T, high E for the rest of his life. And this is where the real problem comes in. If you want to be a hoe, be a hoe. Ain't no problem with that. I absolutely love hoes. Hoes are for the earth. But like, let's stop trying to rationalize being a hoe. Let's stop trying to philosophize and all these other different things. Lie to your pastor. You ain't got to lie to me right now. Just go out and do what you do and understand that everything that we do has a consequence. Like, if you want to go out there and get some young dick, go get you some young dick. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't try to say, well, it's because men do it or that. No, bitch, you just want some young dick. I ain't even mad at you. But don't go out here and then now when that young dick give you young games and your mind can't grasp around it, and what happens is you can't control that young person, because that's really what it comes down to. I'll stay with men and women. Actually, more so with men, I'm gonna be honest with you. Men is just trying to. It's like with a car, it's different driving a brand new Rolls Royce. It's either two types of Rolls Royces you want. You want a brand new one, or you want the vintage one that nobody else can get. Like, because that's a showpiece. Like, if you give me Felicia Rashard, hey, Luke, I bet she changed. Look what you just did, a 56-year-old and a 31-year-old. You're 31, right? I didn't realize you was that young. I've been there before. 50-year-old, she told me I couldn't leave because she had a peach cobbler in the oven. And she baked, and I better eat this peach cobbler. Get my strength back up. I was treated differently than I had ever been treated by a young woman. So that's different. She handled her business like a grown-ass woman. No social medias, no nothing, none of this shit. Just grown-ass woman. Now, she was weird as fuck, too, and she was controlling. But the point is what happens is when they can't control you, they want to do something else. But like when you go get you one of them fine vintage vehicles, you're in a different situation. You're in a much different situation. You're vibing. You're doing good. Definitely no pullouts. No, you ain't got to worry about pullout game with an old woman. That's all the old guys going. Now these older women, you're going for control. It's all about control. Just be honest with yourselves, and we can all enjoy life and live life a little bit more abundantly. But that's funny though, because they broke up right before fucking Valentine's Day. So great for them. Follow up and accountability. Super Bowl just happened. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl back to back. Great game when it needed to be. Wasn't 4 great quarters of football, but the totality of the theater was definitely good. But I want to go back in here, and this is what I love. One of the things that can solve racism is white accountability. It actually solve all problems in life. Is accountability, and accountability for stating what it is that will happen and why it is your fault or why it's not your fault. And I love the Kelseys and how the Kelseys are taking accountability and even if it wasn't their fault, hey, they didn't bring this. So listen to the Brothers podcast, which I think is dope to be able to see two brothers and how they interact with each other. But listen to what they're talking about on their podcast.
Legitimate pundit Thanks for whoever wrote this article. I had more barbers attack me for not even having anything to do with this.
You invented the fade.
No, I didn't.
What better month to credit a white man with inventing the fade than February?
On the first, too. Came out on the first. I didn't want anything to do with this. I saw this and I said, no. I didn't invent the fade, but I know where you can get a good one. And that's Patty Cuts, baby.
Patty Cuts, legitimate pundit.
See, you know what was great about this? It's gonna go over a lot of you fake ass woke people's heads. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of y'all talking about this man fumble. Now, first and foremost, multiple things can be true. His ex-girlfriend is fucking fine. She's an amazing piece of work. God took his time with her. But I will say this, to quote rapper Young Sean, remember when you get a fine bitch, you better read the fine print. And I know enough. I'm friends with enough women like that to tell you that a lot comes with that. Like, it ain't just like, it's a lot of energy, a lot of, again, I'm not saying her per se, but others that I do know, bitches get on your nerves sometimes. And, but they're bashing them for that. They're mad at this with Taylor Swift because for whatever reason, black women are the only creatures on earth who do not believe that the ex upgraded. Like, can never get, the next woman will never be finer. The next woman will never be this, will never be that. And I love my black women. So, like, before you jump on me, just saying, I was raised by y'all. I've loved y'all for my whole life. I motherfucking know y'all. I remember one time my daughter's mother, I was cheating on her with somebody. And she was just like, you cheating on her. She ain't even that fine. I said, come on, man. Come on, man. What the fuck you talking about? She's a garden and gold guy. Like, everybody wants these. Like, everybody wants this chick. Like, I was fed up in the relationship. I was like, what the fuck are we even talking about? This bitch is fine as fuck. Like, you're fine. I said, that's not taken away from your fineness. It's just, she's fine too. You can appreciate the fineness in the competition of sport. Like, I could be a good fullback going up against somebody better than me or going up against somebody good, and you can recognize the greatness. Whatever. But when it comes to this, they're bashing this guy for that reason. And then this man doesn't even come up with it. He just has a fade. He's one of the white boys. He's John B. He's one of the many white boys. Matter of fact, Luke, I think, be having fades and shit that's on the chat. One of the many white boys that have taken a good appreciation to a blade and fine barbering skills. And he comes out and says, that wasn't me. I did not. That had nothing to do with that. I did not invent the fade, but I know where you can get a good fade from. Now, can we go back to find out? Let me find this. Better be a black owned barbershop before I give him this props. Go back and play what the name of the barbershop was, Miles.
No. I didn't invent the fade, but I know where you can get a good one, and that's Patty Cuts, baby.
Patty Cuts. Let's see. Patty Cuts. I'm assuming Patty Cuts is in KC. Oh shit. I was about to give you, cuts a lot of black people's hair. Oh man, we can't have shit. Oh, God damn it, Kelsey. I was there to protect you.
I was gonna say I don't know any black patties. That's definitely a Boston Irish name right there.
Definitely, dog. It's definitely Irish. It's definitely Irish. It's definitely white. He cut, but I ain't gonna lie to you though. Motherfucker got a mean blade, dog. Mean fucking blade. You see that brother's tape right there to the right? Can we not have anything? God damn it, Travis. You made it worse. You could have done what you should have done here, man. You should have just given this was a perfect alley-oop for you to get out of this, man. Perfect alley-oop. I know where you can get a good fade. You can go to Brothers Barbershop. You can go to Dappy Cuts. What was the barbershop? Dappy Cuts was the barbershop at barbershop in barbershop. I forgot the name of it. God damn it, Kelsey. Well, at least he admitted that he didn't make the fade, but I didn't make the fade, but the best fade you can get in America is from a white man. God damn it! In Black History Month, that's a clean ass fade. I gotta give props. But you can't get the barbershop combo. Should have said go to T-Wig. Go to Coach in Jacksonville. Go to those guys. Well, Florida State fans, you want to feel more crazy? You know, all these conspiracy theories, everybody's talking about these things. Other fan bases are like, shut up. That's why you got your ass whooped by 60 points. Shut up. That's why you did this. Shut up. That's why this happened. You didn't deserve to be in there. You just weren't in there. You just weren't in there. And then you find out that Nick Saban was retiring. They knew that Nick Saban was retiring the whole time. Shout out to now Nick Saban's on the ESPN staff. Then you find out that ESPN made more money by keeping Alabama in there. Then you're hearing Kirk Herbstreit every day cry about some bullshit. What benefit does it have for us at ESPN to control the college football playoff and tell them what to do? Well, breaking news, ESPN and the college football playoff have reached a 6-year, $7.8 billion media rights extension for the expanded playoff. Now, one could deduce that there is a fiduciary responsibility in which to protect your interest. Goddamn right, ESPN can tell them who the fuck they want to put in there if I'm giving you $7.8 billion. That's $1.7 billion a year. If I tell you I want Fresno State in that motherfucker, you know what? You're going to figure out how to get Fresno State in. Like, you got to stop this shit. Every day we find something more and more damning to all of this shit. And people are saying that you're saying that's what's killing football is that, at least on a college level, is college football used to be truly about who are the best teams. But now it's about it's boxing, which I happen to enjoy boxing. But I can at least admit that boxing isn't necessarily about putting the two best fighters in the ring. It's about putting the two biggest selling fighters in the ring. Just let people know that. Stop lying. Again, lie to your pastor. You ain't got to lie to us. Tell us the truth so that we can know how to roll with this. The problem is y'all over here just you fucking like you gaslight. That's wrong. That's one of the things ruining college football. The next thing that's ruining college football is not what everybody else says. I'm so sick and fucking tired of you people talking about NIL is ruining fucking football. I'm so sick and fucking tired of you people saying the transfer portal is ruining college football and not really going after what's ruining college football. What's ruining sports? It's not the kids. It's the culture in which the kids are created. It's why they say sports is a microcosm of society. We talk about every symptom except for what actually is causing it. I just saw somebody with Sherry Shepard put talking bashing Sexy Red, talking about when did booty holes become sexy. First and foremost, nobody wants to see your booty hole. That's why you don't understand why booty holes are listen, I'm in at least 10 group chats, and that's all these nasty ass Negroes ask about, and pilgrims ask for is that. Ladies, if you want to spice up that thing today on VD, you want to make that guy, I promise you, it sounds weird, but just do that Lola, go look up Lola Bunny challenge. You do that and you send it to your significant other, and I promise you, the man is gonna like just he's gonna be like, where you at now? Promise you.
That's a real.
You said what?
That's a real.
You said that's a real? I'm saying like real talk. Yesterday, I was not expecting to see Rachel. For those who don't know who Rachel Dozell is, you were seeing my tweets. She was a former president of the NAACP that we found out she is a Black history fan. Matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about her in a light that nobody else talks about her because she's the first white woman that traded her whiteness to be Black. That's how protocol she was. She literally is. There's not a piece of colored in her. She's not even a colored member of this show. She traded it all in to be all black. I mean, to the point where she's the president of the NAACP in her chapter. She wrote a book. The only reason she wrote a book, she was so terrifying to the popular mainstream culture that they had to vilify her for being a white woman that wanted to be black. It has always been the other way. Like my great granddaddy could have passed as a black man to be white. He just decided that he wanted to be a full Negro. Man, looked like an Irishman. Now, she got an OnlyFans account. She's showing booty hole. Got that thing there, spread it open, all of that shit. It's crazy. I'm telling you. But Sherri Shepherd put this up here. But she's bashing Sexy Red, right? And don't get me wrong. I cannot stand Sexy Red. I actually punished my son for saying ski wee or ski yee. Said, nah, man. Nah, bro. Your mama does that shit. Like, you know, your mom, that in her sorority, that's what they do, ski wee or whatever. We men, we don't do that shit around here. Don't give a fuck what your little friends are doing, but that's called parenting. Can prevent this shit. But Sexy Red ain't doing nothing but rapping about shit that she's already doing. That means that people are doing. It's the culture. Sherri Shepherd, if you're not eating good and your pussy not good, then that's on you. But like, or just don't listen to it. Don't have her on your show. It's not your crowd. Everything that's made for us isn't made for us. I personally think Sexy Red is dirty. And I don't even think that because when I went to a show, not Little Duval show. I went to was it Jeezy show? Rick Ross and all them anyways. It was during Duval Day in July. And she was up there. She was wearing the same outfit that she was wearing at Duval Day. And like it was really hot outside. And she was up there singing that song. And I'm like, ooh, I could not be front row. I know it smelled like salmon up there. But I'm telling you, that's just for me. But again, they're saying that the kids are ruining shit, but not the environment that was created around to make those kids have to do that, to do these things. It's the parents that provide no guidance. So when we go into this is ruining college football. We're not. We're talking about the transfer portal and how evil it is and kids bouncing back and forth. But we're not talking about the college coaches who have been doing this shit since the beginning of time. And now the transfer portal rules are so silly that it puts kids in a bad position. And then now you got college coaches really manipulating the situation. So what makes this? So let's go back and look at what's happening since the end of January. So what happens is when you leave, when your coach leaves to go take a job somewhere else, no matter what happened, those kids have 30 days from that school to enter the transfer portal, right? So have 30 days to be able to go find them a new home because their coach left them, the coach that brought them in, their employer left them. So they went to go potentially try to find another employer that best suits their abilities. Somebody else might come in that wants to, you might be in a spread offense, the motherfucker run the wing T, and you're saying the kids are quitting and running off. No, motherfucker, I didn't come here to run the fucking wing T. I came here to run the goddamn spread. That's the point. If the older person can go and make more money, why can't I do that shit? So, how does all this happen? Alabama tries to give Mike Norvell. Well, Saban steps down. 30 days transfer portal. Alabama players opens up. Alabama's looking for Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell tells them no. Washington comes over. Alabama goes to a couple other people. They end up hiring Washington's guy. Washington coach brings over his people, tells them that this is the system we're going to run. We're going to run this. We're going to run that. And what happens is these guys all stayed and acted like they were going to work for the University of Alabama until the 30-day window closed. And then, boom, they start accepting other jobs. So if you're offensive lineman at the University of Alabama, you're staying because, I want to be coached by Scott Huff, who was the coach at Washington, so he understands the system. He's left the University of Alabama to take the offensive line coaching job at Seattle. A few weeks ago, Boston College's coach left being the head coach at Boston College to go become the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, stating that I can't do this shit anymore. So like now you're gonna leave these young men at the last minute. You could have been fucking left. Kalen Dorber seems to like they're saying he has a problem with this. No, the thing is, the Seahawks and the pro job doesn't even pay more. Maybe gives you more stability. You ain't got to recruit. But the thing is, you literally stalled it out and waited till these young men didn't have nowhere else to go. That's called manipulation. So another person. Oh. All right, I don't know what that is. I hope I'm good. I don't know what that is. The Seahawks had another coach left Grubb, and they said that the Seahawks had interest from the start. One reason waiting to make the hire official was to allow a 30-day window for Alabama players to enter the transfer portal to pass. They literally strategically figured out a way to fuck these kids over, which was messed up. Strategically figured out a way to fuck the kids up. And I don't like that. I don't like that because we always say this. And now, check this right here, though. Another Alabama person, Alabama football director of applied science, which is their strength and conditioning coach, Paul Constantine, is set to be hired by the Atlanta Falcons as associate director of strength and conditioning. So, like, another guy, these guys just leave it. Like, you're fucking over the kids in order to get yourself together, which is cool. Like, that's the American way. But let's not say, like, it's so easy to blame the kids. It's the kids' fault. It's got to be the kids. The kids need to grow up. Who the fuck is raising these kids? You know what? You know who's raising these kids? Huff. You know who's raising these kids? Grubb. You know who's raising these kids? Constantine. You know who's raising these kids? Those type of men. Those are the type of men that are showing the examples for what these young men should do when they become men. So when you have a problem with the sexy reds of the world, when you have a problem with the way that the world is operating, I need you to take 1 second and go look in the fucking mirror and ask yourself, is that the way that you're operating? Is that what you do in your life? How is it? Why is it good for the goose and not good for the gander? Why can't you always? What is the purpose of it? Oh man, these kids is wild. Man, you was out like, and then what's wilder is this is when you think about the shit that you did as a youth. When I was thinking about that sexy red thing, man, listen. I know some of y'all, Luke might not know. Luke say 31, so I know Luke don't know about this. Let me tell y'all about this motherfucking sexy ass. This bitch was actually sexy. And she's a sex addict, apparently. That goes by the name of motherfucking Adina Howard. Adina Howard got a song called Freak Like Me. I will be a freak until the day, until the dawn. And we can woo woo all through the night to the early morn. In the morning, I will take you around the way on a gangster lean. And we can ooh ooh. She had that song. She had another song called T-Shirt and Panties. Have you ever Marvin Gaye? I don't want to fuck up my monetization, but I want y'all to listen to this. Soon I'll Be Loving You. Marvin Gaye. So I don't want you to just think this was a 90s and 80s thing. Go look up this shit. I can tell I'm gonna break it down. I look because this is one of my favorite songs. They say, man, the songs these days, man, they're just so vulgar. They just talk about what they're gonna do. They're so descriptive. Where is the imagination? Where's the imagine? Like, what about the children? All right. Here's Marvin Gaye in verse 2. Actually, no, we'll go bump it up. I like to make love to you, baby. I've got this real strong need to love you everywhere. I won't stop until I find your passions flowing like wine. Please, baby, please let me do it to you. I've never gave head before, but there's always the first time. You know, I made up my mind. Soon I'll be loving you. That's all I'm interested in. I've made up my mind. Soon I'll be loving you. I can't wait to touch you, to give you that feeling. Eat you up, my dear, so that your mood will be revealed. I'm going to give you some head. I'm going to give you some head. I'm going to give you some head. On God. Go check it out. Check it out. On God. Promise you. That's what my man is singing. That is not made up. Those were the lyrics that man was singing about. He even says her name. You know what that lady's name was that he wanted to give some head to? Her name was Janice. Do not tell me about Sexy Red. Do not tell me about this shit is different. Stop it. And that's not rap either. That's fucking R&B. Yes, rap can be vulgar. I grew up listening to Uncle Luke. Do you want a Dickie ride? Do you want a Dickie ride? Dickie ride, Dickie ride, Dickey. Ho ride. That wasn't Luke, but if you remember growing up in Florida, you've heard that song. You've danced to that song. Akinel, just put it in your mouth. Ooh, Janet Jackson, would you mind? I'm just like, where the fuck did this respectability shit come from? The Song of Songs ain't nothing but softcore porn in the Bible. And people saying we need more church. Shake that pussy down low. Shake that thing for real, ho. Now shake that ass, bitch, and let me see what you got. Songs that I remember going to teen parties to. They were all there. Just great songs. But again, that's off of one side of the culture. But going to the sports side of the culture, you're literally doing that. You're literally setting the example for what you want these kids to do. You want loyalty. You want kids to be able to practice and do things the right way. Show them. Attitude reflects leadership. I mean, you out here telling these kids to do something that you wouldn't be willing to do. And under the guise of, I got to take care of my family. That's what these just got to do. Now, you're right. But matter of fact, I do not, again, this is what I went back to. I will never, when I tell my sons that's not for you. You're not grown. You need to wait a little bit. You don't need to make that decision. We'll help make those decisions for you until you're able to make those decisions. But my point in all of it is we can't sit here and tell these kids that they need to be one way when we've never been that way. Like, that's the problem. That's what's ruining sports. Again, attitude reflects leadership. Now, the next thing after that, oh shit. This is wild. Show up. Another thing. So again, the kids are ruining sports, right? So we're talking about Boston College's head coach leaving to go be a DC in the NFL. Chip Kelly, who should have been fired but then got hired back to try to keep kids in place, Chip Kelly is expected to become the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. Ryan Day played for Kelly at University of New Hampshire and coached with him at 3 of his different stops. Like, you're stepping down from one place to go to another place. I promise you. I want to know, like, is that the kid? Did the kids ruin that, or is that the head coach? Is that the grown ass man? Stop passing the buck. Take ownership. Take onus. Kids ain't fucked up nothing. The system was fucked up already. And here's more people are gonna get me fucking bashed. What's ruining this? Oh, the kids are about me. All they're doing, might as well go click on the next thing. This ain't nobody showing any more about themselves than this guy, his family. You got comes out when he's coaching high school. When did people miss all these practices? Got his sons going to Fashion Week. Sons over there taking up the Super Bowl in every way possible when they're supposed to be practicing and doing other shit. Now listen to Coach Prime. They talking about everything but winning. If you go to the next the next one, Miles.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, they're talking about everything but winning, but we keep talking about the kids. Again, this is a guy that told everybody, man, Jesus and Negro spiritual. Man said Jesus and Negro spiritual music made him go to Jackson State because why would I leave my plantation that I have all of this stuff for to go here unless God told me to? And then a year and 2 years later, God told him to go to the whitest place in America. And now, here's what's going down. It's not slander. This is the truth. This sounds like a guy. This sounds like Tag right here with push play. This is what they're gonna do in Colorado.
So for our spring game, we're doing a whole prime weekend.
Okay.
We having a fashion show Thursday, some for the boosters on Friday, and the game on Saturday. We're doing an after party.
Yeah.
You know, his white, black, and Hispanic DJs. We're gonna cover everybody.
Okay.
And then after the game, we're doing something with the alumni, but also maybe at halftime in the game or right at the end of the game on the rooftop.
Yeah.
We're gonna have somebody.
It's going down.
It's going down.
Okay. Oh, it's going up because it's on the rooftop.
Yeah, but we may cut that into the game.
Okay.
So that could be seen within millions of viewers.
And you say you got black, white, and Hispanic.
Yeah, we're gonna cover everybody.
So there will be some Taylor Swift plays.
Yeah, okay.
There will be some Taylor Swift plays.
I don't know if Taylor gonna be Swift now. I don't know if we're Taylor being Swift. I love her.
I love her.
Yeah, I love her too.
She's a beast.
I'm cool with that being acceptable. But don't get mad at the kids when they want to do this shit. Don't get mad at the kids. This is what the kids want. And all I'm saying is that you can't say the kids can't do that and then this is it. It's supposed to be about the spring game is a practice. I personally don't give a shit. I want to be entertained. But when you win, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Done everything but win over there. If you want this, somebody else plans this. For the head, I don't want to think y'all understand. For the head coach of even CFB, he is one of 135 Fortune 500 companies. That's FBS. He's in a Power 5 conference, so that's one of the higher brands. Think about any CEO of a major company. They never planned a Christmas party. Somebody else plans a Christmas party. But this guy right here is because their job is to make sure the fucking company can afford the Christmas party. Putting things in place, making sure things are going the right way. He can't remember alumni's 4-star kids coming on campus, but you want him to go plan a party? And he's one of the proponents of people talking about lack of focus. Yo, stop saying this to kids. The kids are doing what the fucking adults are doing. When society is bad, and you're saying society's going to hell in a handbasket, one must ask themselves, who is in charge of the society? Now, don't get me wrong. I love to party with the best of them. I was partying all last week. Shit. Lil Wayne, cool. We saw the party last year. It was a party on the sidelines every week in Colorado last year. And in that, what did he get you? He's got 4 wins, which is more than they had before. Again, like I said, to me, fine. That's your toy. Do whatever you want to do with your toy. But what I don't want to hear about is how the kids can't focus. The guy who just had a press conference saying these kids can't be faithful to their girlfriend, then proceeds to break up with his girlfriend of many years. All I'm saying is, guys, at a certain point, we got to stop blaming. We got to stop blaming the individuals who are serving and start blaming the people who are actually in charge. Well, we know what season it is now. It's the NFL is over. Now we're officially going to the NFL offseason. We'll have combine coverage. We'll have this. Gonna be real fucking busy, man, with this combine coverage coming up. But Merrill Hodge is one of those guys that is literally going to give you a piece of his mind. He's not always right, but he has been right about some. Hodge was one of the few people that said C.J. Stroud was the best quarterback right now. He is not a huge fan of Caleb Williams, and over the next course of the next few days, in months, you're going to see a lot of evaluations and coverage. But Merrill Hodge breaks down his evaluation of Caleb Williams, former USC quarterback.
I've only watched Caleb Williams 3 games last year, 3 this year, so I'm only halfway done. Okay, the one thing that is clear, he is not special. He is not something unique like a Patrick Mahomes, and I hope the Bears don't think, well, let's try to make up for our mistake when we pass up Patrick Mahomes and go get the Patrick Mahomes. The kid is not Patrick Mahomes, ain't even remotely close to that. So it is unfair to Justin Fields. He has had new coordinator. There's no possible way you can know about your guy when you do that. It's the worst thing that can happen to any player, especially a quarterback. Now, when Justin came out, the one thing that I thought he had just inexperience. He just needed more experience. He lacked that. But what I have seen in Justin Fields, from my evaluation, there's enough growth and hope there that I would not let him go because I see enough there. I've only watched Caleb Williams.
So very harsh. Now I will say Merrill Hodge was one of the first. I'll say he was one of the first people on the Caleb Williams train. Shoot. Damn.
Williams 3 games last year, 3 this year, so I'm only halfway done. Okay, the one thing that is clear, he is not special. He is not something unique like a Patrick Mahomes, and I hope the Bears don't think, well, let's try to make up for our mistake when we pass up Patrick Mahomes and go get the Patrick Mahomes. The kid is not Patrick Mahomes, ain't even remotely.
Hey Miles, just put a picture up there while I'm trying to get this camera right.
New coordinator. There's no
or just have my voice while we got the other stuff up there. But Merrill, because the next thing is Merrill Hodge was the only person who was on Patrick Mahomes, and I want us to take this Merrill Hodge thing with a grain of salt, because here's what everybody's draft analysis was of Patrick Mahomes when he was coming out. If you go click on that next link, under that. Like, I mean, I want y'all to hear. Like, now we're talking about Pat. Everybody else talking about Pat Mahomes. Like, he might be the new Brady. But check this out. This is what they were saying before.
So Patrick Mahomes, I don't like it. I do not like this pick.
It is Patrick Mahomes. Just like I said to you, Trubisky doesn't have the resume that tells me that he's better than Deshaun Watson. Now, damn sure ain't gonna say Patrick Mahomes does.
This is a really good football player. And I think these types of guys don't come around that often.
Like, if he's that good, you went over Deshaun Watson. You traded up, but I still got to wait on the cookies. The cookies ain't ready yet.
I'm willing to invest in that type of player because I believe in his skill set and what he is going to develop into.
When I hear words about Pat Mahomes, these are the words I hear: undisciplined, lacking fundamentals, immature.
I disagree with you. I don't believe it's a reach. I believe this guy's a very talented player in the future.
Why are you drafting a quarterback? Why are you trading up to draft a quarterback that doesn't just have bad footwork, has no footwork?
I can see this guy developing into a really good football player.
The only one out of them going to win a championship, if there is one, is Deshaun Watson.
At the end of the day, we had Mahomes rated above Watson. That's how we saw it.
Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hardman! Jackpot! Kansas City!
Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
That guy is now the GM, I believe, for the Detroit Lions. So, like, again, sometimes you gotta take some of these draft evaluations with a grain of salt. Just like a lot of times talking heads right now, if you click on the Facebook link for the next one, Miles, my guy, D. Alex, brought up a really, really good point. And what happens is, this is why I think people don't realize how you can be manipulated by media into thinking that this is the way that things are going. So he brought up a good point about how the media has manipulated you into believing that the running back position is not good. Actually, I would say it's all about systems, because I do believe if you look at what Christian McCaffrey was able to do, and we're not going to go down to the game manager, game changer thing again. We did that enough yesterday. But he puts, here's how you know the media is driving down the value of the running back drafted in the first round. 10 of the top 16 wide receivers in the league this year were not drafted in the first round. 10. Yet we never heard you can wait on a good receiver, never draft the first receiver in the first round, which is funny because, you know, when you look at it, he's got all kinds of points. I'd argue that even some of the better wide receivers are guys who weren't drafted high. Some of the better players are guys who weren't drafted high. Even at quarterback. Look at the can't miss quarterbacks. Trevor Lawrence was a can't miss quarterback. And I'm not saying he's a bust, but he hasn't given you a fraction of the production that Patrick Mahomes has given you. He hasn't even given you Deshaun Watson level stuff yet, which again, he definitely hasn't given you Lamar Jackson, which Lamar Jackson has consistently been in the playoffs. He hasn't given you anything of what Brock Purdy's gotten, and he's in the same class. This is why when people argue about the game changer versus game manager, I'd argue that in some of these games, Trevor Lawrence lost the Jags more games than he won. And that's not saying I think Trevor Lawrence isn't the quarterback of the future or the right quarterback. What I'm saying is if he would have shifted his mindset into managing the game and not turning the ball over, you would have won more games. You would have been in a position. Actually, you were literally in a position to make the playoffs. In fact, if you would, when the Jags were 8-3 at that point, they had the highest chance of making it to the playoffs than anybody in the NFL. Period. You have a running back that's pretty damn good in ETN. You have 3 wide receivers that are competent. Calvin Ridley was considered one of the best before he had to take a year off. Christian Kirk is a very good wide receiver, very consistent, elite number 2 wide receiver. And Zay Jones is another guy that is really, really good. I actually argue that when Crazy Zay was on the field, they were better, along with a Pro Bowl tight end in Evan Ingram. You don't need to be the guy you don't need to take over the game when you have that. Your job is to read the fucking defense and throw it to throw them where they need to be at. That's how you win games. The offensive line didn't throw some of those interceptions. Matter of fact, I want to go one of these days. Here's the problem with that. The offensive line wasn't great, but the offensive line also won you. The offensive line was the offensive line you had when you were 8-3. The offensive line, and I would argue more of the argument would be the defense is the problem. And here's why I would say that's the argument. Because when they were 8-3, that's 11 games. They had 6 games left. Of those 6 games that they finished the season with, 5 were with backup quarterbacks. 5 with backup quarterbacks. They had the lead in some of those games. That ain't just because your offensive line stinks. You can get better on your offensive line. 100% believe you can get better with the offensive line. But you know what? You know, there's an offensive lineman that we all thought stunk that just won a goddamn Super Bowl, was a starting right tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what team he used to be with? That's right, your Jacksonville Jaguars. It's the craziest part about all of this is that the draft analysis is wrong at times. I got into arguments with my guy Denny about Trevor Lawrence and why we should not have drafted Trevor Lawrence and why the Jacks should have drafted a bunch of other different pieces to make Gardner Minshew better. And you probably would be in the exact same position as you are in now. But that's common sense. The combine's coming up. Oh, also, but for those who love to talk about, we always talk about the ACC, the SEC, best conference in football. Notice that SEC Big Ten. Notice in the Super Bowl, the team with the most ACC players had won the Super Bowl. But up on that picture right there, that there's the wide receivers that are in the top wide receivers in the league, over 10. We're not drafting in the first round. Combine's coming up. NFL puts out the NFL Combine record for invites. Oh no, Michigan has 18. Washington has 13. Florida State has 12 Combine invites. 12. That's insane. So just think about this. Of those invites, we're going to go through these invites and see who actually played in the game against Georgia. Because most of them didn't. Oh, shit. You go down to Logan's Twitty, the next one. So, yeah, Jordan Travis injured, didn't play. Jared Verse didn't play. Keon Coleman didn't play. Brandon Fisk injured, didn't play. Johnny Wilson didn't play. That's 5. Trey Benson didn't play. That's 6. Jaheim Bell didn't play. That's 7. Jarian Jones didn't play. That's 8. Renardo Green didn't play. That's 9. Fabian Lovett didn't play. That's 10. Tatum Bethune didn't play. That's 11. Kalen DeLoach is the only one of those guys who are invited to the combine. You're like, imagine saying that a team should have competed with 12 combine guys, not 12 NFL caliber guys. I want you to understand, in order to make it to the NFL combine, that means 75% of NFL rosters have you as a draftable player. 75% of the NFL has those guys drafted as draftable players. I'm just saying that it's very hard. It's very difficult to win football games like that. Of those 12, the NFL, of those 12, Pro Football Focus Big Board Top 100 players has 7 of those guys, or 7 of those guys are from Florida State. They have Jared Verse, Keon Coleman, Brandon Fisk, Trey Benson, Renardo Green, Johnny Wilson, Jarian Jones. Jarian Jones, those are the guys who are in the top 100. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They also have Jordan Travis at 145, Jaheim Bell at 189. And So just a lot of talent overall that is there for Florida State, and that's not including with guys like Kalen DeLoach, who I believe will rise once they see him run, and see him move. Closing it out again. Today is Valentine's Day. VD, and what do the Miami Dolphins and Usher Raymond have in common? Anybody want to take a guess what the Miami Dolphins and Usher Raymond have in common? And it was one of the funniest comments on Monday that I'm starting to. I don't remember who said it, but it's now mine. It's officially my comment. I'm going to be using that shit over and over again when I'm talking to people. But what they have in common is that they out here giving bitches the braille, the skin braille. Miami already had a player get sued in Xavier Howard for allegedly giving a woman, and he settled for an undisclosed amount, much like Usher, for giving a woman herpes. And now a lawsuit filed in Florida alleges that a Dolphins player infected his then girlfriend with genital herpes after failing to warn her that he was carrying the virus. And like again, women out here giving that STI. Oh man, that's tough. Raymond puts it verse Coleman at 17, where the Jags pick, but they don't re-sign Ridley. What would you do? I'm taking verse. Keon Coleman is not Keon Coleman is not right again. Keon Coleman is going to be a good NFL receiver. He is not all things aside. He's not a number one NFL wide receiver right now, though. Yeah, like not an NFL number one wide receiver. And lastly, we got to check this out. So WNBA is growing and expanding. If you ask any real respectable male, what's more exciting right now? The college basketball for men or women's? And they'll tell you women's. Caitlin Clark, the sexy girls from LSU, our favorite coach at South Carolina, and just what they're doing. Like, just so much energy is coming from the college basketball game that it's almost like the resurgence of like what basketball went through in the 80s. And I think sometimes, and I understand it's hard to tell people to wait for their turn because you feel like it should be your turn. But the reality is, I mean, before we show this, Miles, can we go? Because sometimes I think we just got to do this. Can we go look up some old school NBA footage? Actually, we don't even need to do that. I wonder what NBA. Well, this is the 25th or this is the 30th. How long has the WNBA been around? WNBA started in 1996. So that would make this would be the 28th year when it starts up. Somebody make sure my math is mathing. So we got that going. So let's say 28 years. Well, league play started in 97. So it's founded in 96. So it started in 97. So it'll be 27 years old this year. It's not quite 30 years yet. When did the NBA start? NBA founding. NBA was started in 1949. So 30 years would be damn, that's crazy. That's wild. So when you're looking at this, so if we go back to 80s basketball, so you're thinking about, and what happened in the 80s, you got, that's when I think late 70s when you had Showtime come into play and all of these other different guys. Then you had Jordan coming in 84. And you really don't see the NBA becoming a fiscally long year like until later on. Like if you watch Showtime, the series, you see Magic Johnson negotiating to get $500,000, like, which again, a lot of money. But I wonder what NBA salaries were in 80. Oh, this is really good. NBA, I got the list of highest NBA salaries by season. So, all right. So, so when the NBA first started, Joe Fulks was the highest paid player with $8,000. Bob Cousy with the Celtics was $25,000 from 1955 to 1959. Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain, one of the GOATs, in 1960 was making $30,000. Now, that changed. In 1965, he got $65,000. Bill Russell comes on and they give him $100K. Wilt Chamberlain eventually gets $250. Wilt and Kareem both got $250. Pistol Pete Maravich got $380 in 73. Kareem got $500,000 in 75. He got $650, 76 through 78. Bill Walton and Moses Malone were the first millionaires in 1980. So let's pause right here. It took to the third year of the league for men, 30th year, 30 years in the league for men to make $1 million. Now, different times, but again, just keeping things in perspective. It was still a fledgling league that people didn't know. And these are names that we all know. Then after that, Julius Erving, Moses Malone, Bill Walton, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They had 4 players making $1 million. Then they had 5 players making $1 million. Until Magic and Bird came along, and Ewing is when the money started. Like year 40 is when that money started really flowing. And you want to know what's crazy? And this is wild. When did Magic get the HIV? When did Magic get the HIV? Magic HIV diagnosis. I think Magic got 14 million after he got HIV. That's crazy. So Magic got HIV in 91. Magic Johnson became the highest paid player. So it went from David Robinson making $5 million, right, in 94. 5.74 million to be exact. To Magic making $14.6 million in 94, 95. And then Jordan making $30 million. And then it went back down a little bit for a while. So like these salaries are high now in comparison. The salaries are high now in comparison because it took time. So now let's go listen. But you got really good players and a good brand of basketball coming in. And the old heads, you know what's similar? The old heads hated then too. So let's listen to one of the best players to ever play women's basketball and what she thinks about these young guys coming or young gals coming.
I think Angel will eventually be a good pro. I don't think Angel will come into the league immediately and dominate the way people think she will. And I say that for people who have never watched a WNBA game. It's good. Like there's talent. Like these women can play. And because there are very few roster spots. Like it's a real job. So people look at new players coming in, whether that's out of college, players who've been overseas, and they look at that and say, oh, you trying to come take my job. Like, no, it's not going to be that easy. So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now immediately? Absolutely not. Not going to happen.
Not on the right team.
I think Angel will eventually be a good pro. I don't think Angel will come into the league immediately and
I think this is some good old fashioned. I think she's coming from a good place, right? I don't think, however, she's being fucking for real. And here's the thing that women don't 100% understand or grasp that men do in sports. I can't speak for life, but definitely in sports. You know why Caitlin's going to play immediately and dominate? Because it's going to be good for the league. You know why Angel will? You know why a lot of these other girls will? Because they're having a following of them coming from college that's going to immediately watch and want to know where they're going. So they're going to find roles for them. It's the way that things work. Like, it's not it is the American way. The best don't always play. NFL don't get me wrong, it's not to knock anybody in the NFL if you make it to the NFL, you're a good athlete. If you make it to the NBA, you're a good athlete. But almost everybody will tell you there's a better person sitting on a park bench right now than they were. The difference is they were the more marketable person. They were the one put butts in seats, and that's what will get you paid. And you know what's going to happen to the vast majority of women in that league? They're going to adjust. Do you know why Michael Jordan is considered the best? Because Michael Jordan was what made the league more viable. It's not that Michael Jordan isn't a GOAT. I'm not saying that he's not. What I'm saying is that when Michael Jordan played, it brought more money into the NFL, into the NBA, which made their CBA have to trigger in more ways than one. It's simple economics. It's just the way the shit works. Do this, do that, get paid. Boom. Bing, bam, boom. They will figure out a way. They will make more teams. They will get into more markets. This will, again, raise the visibility of the league and make them more money. I don't understand. Like, I don't think, it goes back to what old heads love talking about, how we look at things through a rose-colored lens. Different games, different times. Like, I joke with people about, like, right now about, would somebody be great in this football sense? Like, not in the spread system. The guy can't run with these guys. Doesn't mean he wasn't good. Doesn't mean he wasn't a good athlete. It just means these guys are different. These kids, oh man, these kids are soft. Man, you go take your ass out there and play with LeBron James, 6'8", 280 at one point in his career, man. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're not going up against that. And yes, he gets rules because he's an icon. People want to see LeBron play. But I think it's going to be for the overall betterment of the league. And you'll see things happen. But outside of that, appreciate you guys joining me on this VD. I was hoping we would get a couple more people, because if we got more people, I was going to bless somebody for Valentine's Day to go take somebody out somewhere nice to eat. But maybe we'll get our views back up to over 100 here as we consistently get back on time and track. Don't know what's going on, but I appreciate the 50 or so that was chopping it up with us watching. Hopefully you guys continue to support the show, support the channel. Go back, click like, share with a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. We will be back here on Friday. See you guys next time.